Hey everybody, come on up. It's Porch Settin Sunday. Grab yourself a cup of coffee because it's a little chilly, but it's not real chilly because I just got a sweater on today. So, let me fix my camera down a little lower. Alright, there we go. Now, anyway, come on up. It's Porch Settin Sunday. Welcome to the porch. Let me show you the beautiful day it is. The beautiful mountains, the sun shining. It's just gorgeous today. It's a little hazy. Hear the wind chime? Beautiful, beautiful day though. Very sunny. The sky is really, really blue. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Flags are flying. Yes, ma'am. Welcome all. Guys and gals, all of you. Don't forget, it's another day and another chance to sparkle. So come on up, sit down, and let's tell some stories. So, we're here today on the porch. We just want to welcome everybody and tell everybody that we love them. Welcome to my new subscribers, and glad you've stuck around, my old subscribers, my old friends and new friends. Everybody get to know each other. So, what I wanted to tell you about, I know I told a story last Sunday about my dad, and I wanted to tell you exactly the relationship, or how my dad, why I call him my dad. He was a stepdad. He was not my blood dad. He met my mom when she was pregnant with me. And so he was there when I was born. And let me tell you, he was a dad that he didn't have to be. I mean, he took me fishing. Everything he did, I did with him. On the weekends, my dad worked in a factory making locomotives. He was a welder, and he put locomotives together. If you don't know what a locomotive is, some people may not. It's the engine part, the whole great big front of the train on the track. It's what pulls the train. My dad made those. And so on the weekend, my dad was a worker. I mean, he just was a worker. On the weekend, he was the neighborhood for 2 towns. Well, it wasn't the neighborhood. He was the junk man. He would go around, because see, back in the day, years ago, you was allowed to have a burning barrel out in your backyard, and you could burn your garbage. You just threw your garbage in there and burn it, cans and all. So every week, he would come around and empty your barrel, your burning barrel. And that is what made me become a collector. I became a collector doing that. I found so many treasures. Now, I'm not a hoarder. So, I mean, I wasn't a hoarder then. I was a very, very, very clean housekeeper. I'm neat now, but I'm somewhat of a hoarder since my son died. I'm afraid to get rid of things, afraid that someone will pass away, and then that's all I'll have. But I've come to realize through you all talking to me and through things that I've read that people have suggested that I read, I've come to realize that those memories are not in the things. They're in here and in my heart. So I'm starting to really come out of my place that I was in. So anyway, I went every Saturday with my dad junking. There was one place that I loved when Dad stopped. He always went in. The man always invited us in, him and his wife. And his wife worked Saturdays, but she made ceramics. She made these little tiny dolls. And every Saturday, he would let me pick out a doll. She made ceramic dolls. Now, I did have all those, but all the moving that I did during the first years of my marriage, they got broke and misplaced and all that. So anyway, that's the place I love to go. And he would always give me a bag, a little you know, not a sandwich bag, but a paper bag that you packed your lunch in. He always gave me a paper bag, and he had this big barrel, a barrel about like this tall, you know, and it was about this big around. He always made me go in that barrel. He had it full of pennies. And he always would make me go in that barrel and get me a handful of pennies. And when I'd get my little hand in there, he would say, "Oh, that's not a handful. Grab you another handful." And I'd grab another handful. And then he would take both his hands and he would grab. And he'd say, "This is a handful." And he'd fill my bag up with pennies. That thrilled me. And that taught me to save. My husband's not a saver. So a saver and not a saver doesn't work. Now, when I'm working, I save and I have money. But when I'm not working, we stay broke. Anyway, that's not what I'm wanting to talk about. And so, that's some of the things that I did with my dad. Now, Dad worked so much, so he couldn't do a whole lot with us. But what he would do is for 2 weeks out of the summer, he would take us to this place right outside of our little town called Leapley's. It's no longer there. And it had 2 ponds, and you could camp there, and you rented a place to camp. And we would sleep in a tent. Dad would sleep there at night, and I know that was hard on Dad. He would sleep there at night, get up early in the morning, run to the house, take his shower, get ready for work, and then go to work, and then he would run home, take another shower after work, because most time he'd have little shards of steel on him where he welded and stuff, and it would fly. And he would come back to Leapley's, and the rest of the evening we'd fish and tell stories and just do what you do on camping. And he would do that for 2 weeks for us. I thought he was a wonderful dad. If he hadn't have been there, I don't know what my life would have turned out like. I don't know how I would have turned out, because it was all messed up. Our lives were just, you know, messed up. But anyway, I just wanted to brag on my dad a little bit and tell you what a wonderful man he was. And I wish and hope that everyone could have a dad like I had. So my childhood was, at the end of it, I saw the rainbow because of my dad. And so at the end of every video now, I want to tell you all, one of my friends that I've made here on YouTube, and she's not on YouTube anymore, and I'm not going to tell her name because I didn't get permission to do that, but she did tell me, and some of you may know who that I'm talking about, because she was subscribed to her, and she always talked about this. She said, "Tell them all about the rainbow." And she said she's going to have a rainbow. So, I love you guys. I hope you'll come back and see me. And so, don't forget, it's another day and another chance to sparkle. And if you're having a hard time, having a bad day, don't forget there's going to be a rainbow. And it's going to be a great one. Bye. Love you.